Hi.
Hello.
Who's here? Oh my goodness.
I know. How are you guys?
So good.
So good.
I'm doing pretty good.
So good.
Did you guys see our friend Bree is back in the hold? Here we go.
Yes.
Hanging out. Just done a little study abroad.
A little study abroad coming to visit today.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, well, you know, we love talking to Bree because you always have fun things to chat with us about. So, and today is no exception. Right?
Yay! I forgot my ramen noodles, but now I didn't.
Leigh-A is here and definitely much more prepared than the rest of us. No, and like seriously, she did. All the rest of us were like, chaos! And Leia's like, I got you.
Okay, the only thing I did was pull up all the links that they've been posting over the past week. So, I mean...
I was trying to
obviously I got it all well put together.
I was just like tossing you an easy win right there. And you just were just like, no. No. Amis.
Yes, dear.
Oh.
Wow, that was a quick butt rock.
I need more.
That one is for Patrick, who apparently is not having a great day because some football ball sport thing.
We're here for you, Patrick. We've got a perfect anti-sport
No
thing
never
today.
I don't know, it's pretty sporty if you ask me. There's a lot of movement.
Yeah,
Cardio,
calisthenics, flexibility, athletics. Yeah,
there's my Donna. That's my co-writer for anyone who doesn't know.
Yay!
Yeah.
Hi, Donna.
Nice to see you. Thanks for being in the chit chat.
She has come to watch me and probably heckle me. So she loves to roast me, so it's very fun.
Well, this is the right show to have your chats consistently put on screen, especially if you are saying something that makes the hosts embarrassed. That's
absolutely
that's the show that we do. Mm-hmm. So today, in case you weren't aware, we're having a very special threefold talk.
It's true.
And Bree, why don't you tell us a little bit about why we're here?
Well, you guys so generously reached out to see if I wanted to come on and talk about the thing that is eating my week right now and the last couple weeks and will eat my next week, which is that every 2 years, since 2020, A couple of friends and I have decided to run an absolutely bonkers auction to raise money for voting rights. I actually just joined the fandom because I remember Jenny is in the chat, Lesbian Nerdy, and I actually said this to her. One of the first conversations I had with her was in 2020 when I was like, I think I just accidentally raised $50,000. But that first auction, we went on to raise $485,000.
Oh my gosh.
That's insane.
So in the past couple years, we have raised like over $750,000, and we are back at it one more time. And it is so fun. We get so many cool people. I have great stories. I do try to save the world. I get to meet amazing people. This is why I get to go around saying, oh yeah, I killed N.K. Jemisin in Among Us once, which is just, a casual thing to drop in conversation.
That's very casual. Yeah, I'm not impressed at all.
I also stabbed the head writer of Dragon Age 4 and an Olympic figure skater. So my murder count is honestly pretty impressive.
And we do love good stabbing stories here. So.
Man, big fan of stabbing. So how does raising money and stabbing and famous people all like? Why is that important? Like, what is the reason behind why you're raising all this money?
So we started this in 2020. The runoff was going to happen in Georgia, and I live in Alabama. And one of the things that I think, like, if you were watching in 2020 when people were going out to vote in that runoff, people were standing in 8, 9, 10-hour lines. And part of that is because if you live in a state that is voter suppressed, and I'm going to say it, just going to say right now, states that have a lot of Black people are very voter suppressed because it is really a racist practice. And in Alabama, they do that too. They have extremely strenuous voting laws. They make it hard to vote. You have to get IDs. You have to do complicated. Every once in a while, I post my absentee ballot instructions on the internet just to baffle people. There's like 4 envelopes that you have to do. You have to get an affidavit from a notary or multiple witnesses in order to vote by mail. It is incredibly difficult, and they make it hard on purpose, and we hate that. And so what we do is we raise money for organizations that, right, this year it's Fair Fight, which was founded by Stacey Abrams, who is, as some people know, was also a romance writer.
Wait, I did not know that.
I did not know that.
You didn't know that?
What?
Yes, Stacey Abrams has written quite a few, I think 7 or 8 romances under Selena Montgomery.
Yeah.
And in 2020, she gave us books to auction off at the end of it. She tweeted at me, probably the highlight of my 2020. I think we're best friends now. And yeah, she gave us some books to auction off at the very end of it, which was cool. This year, we're also raising money for Vote Riders, which is a national organization that helps people get voter ID and figure out ways that they can actually get to the polls, because transportation can be an issue, figuring out, navigating voter ID laws to begin with. In theory, this would be a nonpartisan activity because we're not saying only certain types of people can vote. We're saying everybody should get to vote. But in practice, we know that is not a nonpartisan activity because they are really trying to stop some people from voting. And I think that's unchill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would almost call that unconstitutional, wouldn't you?
One might call that, but one is not an arbiter of the Constitution, and some of those people do.
And I will say, one of the people who runs this auction with me did clerk for the Supreme Court, so she definitely knows a little something about the Constitution. She is officially in charge of making sure we don't do election crimes. We actually have a sticker.
I noticed that.
Yeah, our motto is be gay, do non-election crimes. We don't do election crimes. Other crimes are fine. But no election crimes.
Okay. Right, okay, good.
So
that's amazing. Loose Junior, you are welcome to get on a tiara anytime.
Everybody should wear
one. It doesn't even have to be a tiara if you don't have one. We have our wise
any kind of crown. And there are
deer
so
of
many
any
different
sort,
kinds.
yes.
And if you do decide to don a tiara in honor of Oni Greitz, feel free to like post it in our Discord or tag us on Twitter, and so we can celebrate your fancy look for today. Yes. Is anybody wearing something extra special for today that you want to highlight before we go deeper?
She's either showing us her boobs or the t-shirt.
I'm always showing off my boobs.
She's wearing extra special boobs.
This is
That was
one of the
such a beautiful
t-shirts that they made me make it on Twitter. I was like, you guys want a t-shirt or something? Because we are fairly well known for writing series with lots of bisexual characters in them. And so I have joked that like the readers of this are my bisexual love army. So I made them a t-shirt because they kept asking. So,
and then we
I think there's one thing we forgot to ask Bree before we started and got into Romancing the Vote. One, Romancing the Vote is the name.
Yes, it is Romancing the Vote.
But two, we didn't ask how Bree is part of this community and how we know her. Because some people may not know you, Bree. We just started chatting as friends. But for people who don't know you, can you tell us a little bit about who you are and how we all know each other? Maybe?
This is why she's the wise one.
Yes, very, very
I'm just
smart.
reeling it back just a minute, and then we'll go.
I always call myself a fandom gremlin. I sort of stealthed into the fandom in like 2020 when I saw the show was ramping up. I was really excited about the show. And so I started like wandering around. I think I found, Lesbian Nerdies Discord is one of the first ones I actually started talking to people in. Delusions of Grendel and Jenny encouraged me to brigade the Wheel Takes Grinwell Cup poll the first year. I've been told Gus and Allie were sitting in a coffee shop and Gus had to say to Allie, there's some author with 20,000 followers telling everyone to crash her poll. But I mean, I feel very strongly that 90 is hot. So I mean, I don't know what else I was supposed to do. And from there, it just sort of escalated. I do a podcast with Aradia from Watt Spoilers and Allie from Wheel Takes now, where we read like fantasy books by women and talk about them and things from our childhood, called the Hot Nuance Book Club. And it is super fun.
Okay.
And yes, Leigh-A came on and was guest on it not too long ago. We're reading Tamara Pierce's Alana series right now, and it is super fun. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and I was a big Twitter shit poster for a long time, but I've sort of drifted away from Twitter to Blue Sky. But mostly I love to just post about it and talk about it. I love the show. I'm the show apologist. I'm the Rafe Judkins originalist. So I fight people all the time.
Love
but,
it.
I just like to chill.
Awesome. Thank you.
That's awesome. In addition to talking about Romancing the Vote, we thought we'd also pepper in some discussion of a very specific book, which has crossover appeal to The Wheel of Time and the romance community, and that is Consort of Fire.
Yes. Thank you. Donna and I wrote that book, and we had so much fun writing it. This is actually the first epic we've been writing for 15 years, and this was even though fantasy was my genre when I was a kid, this is the first time we wrote an epic fantasy. We've written paranormal and modern stuff, but this was our epic fantasy, and it was so much fun. And yes, it's a horny dragon, a very horny dragon, and his two girlfriends.
Horny. It's so horny.
So, which sounds very much like Wheel of Time, but it's not exactly. That is probably its most
so
Wheel
much
of
I can
Time.
say.
I don't want to know how Robert Jordan would have written those scenes. I'm very glad Harriet told him not to, and I'm very glad you did write those scenes.
Yes.
Yeah, they did. I mean, I read this a few months ago, and there was a moment where I was like so horny, and yet also like sobbing at the same time.
This is our brand.
Both of those things happened together, and for those of you who haven't read much romance or like steer clear of the genre, as far as the epic fantasy world building that you've done, it is fascinating and interesting,
so
and you've like created this whole new kind of system of gods and magic and stuff that was like really fun to dig into, and so for any fan of epic fantasy, I feel like this book series is like a really easy walk into, especially since there's a dragon and he's really horny and he's moody. It's like a moody, horny dragon.
He's moody, and he hangs out on top of a volcano sometimes.
Sometimes hangs out on top of volcanoes.
I will say the most overt Wheel of Time little nod, which I didn't do on purpose, but then when I went back, I was like, oh, this is such a like homage, was that there used to be a prologue that started 3,000 years ago where the volcano got created. And I wrote this whole thing, and it's very much not the same vibe as the prologue of Eye of the World. But then after I read it, I was like, I just wrote a 3,000 years ago volcano creation dragon as prologue. And I loved it. I was like, this is going to be my Wheel of Time. And they made me take it out.
Oh, flashback.
I feel like that needs to be
I did
like
put it back in. There is a flashback when Zanya touches him and gets some of the vision. I took some of it out and put it back in. So because I loved it too much, but yeah, I think we need it. I think maybe you should add that to the Romancing the Vote auction as a auction item. You could get a copy of the original prologue of Consort of Fire. Yeah, I might have to do that.
I think you should add it, mostly because I want to read it.
Right?
It was cool. I had a lot of fun. I mean, I have loved writing that series, and like you said, the gods and the whole mythology.
So fun.
And we have like gotten to expand it. The second book comes out in August, and we're writing like a spin-off for another 2 books duology in the same world, but with new characters. So
fun! I'm so excited.
Very fun.
So are you planning this, Bree, to be a trilogy, or is this just however long you feel like going?
We're selling the books 2 at a time. And so, because the way romance often works is the narration. I'm just going to say, if you guys haven't heard the audiobook.
The audiobook's good. I listened to it.
I'm going to get Rob to narrate the prologue for sure. Yes, absolutely.
Yes, have him narrate the prologue. He's already done it once.
But what we're doing is we're selling 2 books at a time. So basically, these 2 were about the dragon and his 2 girlfriends. The next 2 books will be about different characters and their romance. It will have the same world, the same background, but we'll just sort of follow a different romance as we go to the next part of the adventure. And so if those do well and they want 2 more, we kind of have an idea for 2 more after that. So we'll just keep selling them 2 books as long as they want to publish them, I think.
Heck yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
It is super fun.
I don't know what you planned and pulled up, Leigh-A, but should we
I've got Daily Veil stuff, and then I've got a bunch of stuff to talk about with the auction.
Okay. Shall we do would it be okay with you, Bree, if we do a quick Wheel of Time news thing?
Of course.
And then switch back to
Please give me the news, because I've been missing it because of the auction.
Awesome. Well, great. Well, we'll talk about. We had some interesting tidbits come out this week, and some accidental tidbits, I would say.
Your cat on your keyboard?
Yeah, she is trying to walk over all the things, and and she's tiny, so she doesn't really fit over all the things. And it's like lamps are going over and monitors are going over. And
all right, well, while Leigh-A chases her cat, let's do the Daily Veil.
Brothers and sisters,
it is time to cover up your face,
for the Wheel of Time has news, and we shall dance the spheres with it.
This is the Daily Veil.
Oh, that's me. I should probably, put that.
That's you. You're in charge.
I'm not really used to having to do that. Cool. Come back. Stop transiting to come to the wedding.
We got this. We're good at very specific things, stabbing things and talking shit. I mean, and Rob has a very different set of skills.
All right. So What Idol posted this today that they have officially beat their record, last year's record of number of entries.
Congratulations!
So they will be doing, I don't think they've announced the official dates, but it sounds like they're going to be doing, like they did last year, 2 days worth of preliminaries where you can go and vote on those. I'm not really sure, stay tuned. Follow.
The dates are, they've been pretty clear. Those dates are 22nd and 3rd.
Okay. Because I felt personally targeted by that, because I think they're trying to repress my vote. Because I'm going to be busy with the auction.
You should go into the Daily Veil or the Dusty Wheel chat during these things and being like, while you're voting on this, go relieve your stress.
Yes.
Do some shopping therapy over here on the auction. You just slide that in. Just
spamming the auction link in there.
Just spam it in. Just spam it in. So July 2nd and 3rd, I think they said they were going to start at 8 Eastern. And then July 5th will be the official Threefold Talk What Idol after party that we do every year, where you don't have to vote on anything and you can just enjoy the music. And then the finals are going to be July 6th, Saturday, July 6th. That's the plan. That's what I know.
I'm so glad you understood this.
Yes. But 82 entries is amazing. What an amazing fandom to come together and make all of these parodies for all of our collective enjoyment. It's really great.
And can I say though, with that the 1980s art that What Idol is going with this year, if they didn't have at least 80, it would have fell flat. So good job to everyone who got us over the 80 hump. And now we're in the
my God, I just realized that said 82. I was just it just looked so natural to see an 80 number. I was just I don't know why they got that in there, but okay.
That's so fitting. Well done, everyone. You understood your assignment.
I'm very excited.
That's awesome.
All right. So, so those dates, so we won't be recording next Thursday because it's the 4th of July, but we will be having our post What Idol or mid What Idol show. See how many entries make me cry. They think I cried 3 times last year.
Or laugh. Yes, and the most important news is that Rob successfully not held his submission till the last minute, like some very dramatic people did. I'm not naming names. Rob successfully actually completed his video, rendered his video, and uploaded and submitted his video with 10 minutes to spare, which is pretty impressive. Yeah.
Plenty of time after that. Plenty of time.
Kev Angus did some great sleuthing for us, and our favorite sexy glee man said, waiting for the 3rd season and the 4th season. And then the 4th.
I don't know if they're doing this on purpose at this point, but it feels like the accidental, let's talk about the fact that season 4 has already been renewed, but we're not actually going to say it. Things have happened way too much lately. I think the thing that cemented this for me was the fact that he said this and then changed it. Probably because he was, So it said, this is what it said originally. And then within 15 minutes, he changed it to, and then hopefully season 4.
Oh, because he did at Amazon Prime.
Exactly. So maybe he was called out. And I think,
I'm just going to say, as someone who has to keep a lot of secrets for other authors, it can get hard to remember what you're supposed to say and what you're not. So maybe it's on purpose. Maybe they know something we don't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he knows something, and I think the act of changing it made it more solid in at least my mind. At least, like, it's like, why would you change that if you didn't get in trouble for saying something you shouldn't have?
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, but never mind all the hints that Sarah's been putting out. Like, I think Hope might go back to London. You know, like, I hope to be back to Prague soon. Wink, wink. You know, it's pretty amazing.
Hey, Leigh-A, do you have your headphones in? I'm getting an echo.
Oh, I do not. I have them somewhere. That is a thing I could do. Thank you. Sorry.
That's okay.
Also, I'm just ready for Hot Tom to come back. I mean,
I know. I love that you did this with a Tom bomb. It's like a subtle Tom bomb, but it's there.
Let's
go.
All right.
Singing.
So, next piece of news is Rosamund Pike blowing a conch shell in a very poofy fairy elf outfit. And she says, it's over and out to 4 amazing years in Prague. We had a stupendous party to say goodbye, and most importantly, thank you to Mother Prague, whose claws will always be in us, and to all the people we met in this great city who taught us, played with us, and gave us their time and friendship. We held a game, a wild duck hunt in Stromka Park. I'm going to not even attempt to pronounce the rest of these words. And this was my call at the end of the chase. And then I'm assuming that's goodbye in Czech, which I, again, will not butcher that beautiful language. Because
I feel like this dress, Bree, needs to be included in your next book.
I mean, I kind of love it. Absolutely. It is so poofy. I love poofy dresses.
It's so
with
poofy.
the pink monarch butterfly headband.
Yeah.
I feel like I have a couple characters who might wear this for sure.
Yeah. It's really great. It's so poofy. It's so poofy. And can you imagine like somebody like getting lost in the folds and like just like frantically trying to get
just want to
down
see her
underneath
twirl
all
a
the
little
layers?
bit. Just do an actual twirl.
I know. She looks like she needs to do a twirl. I bet
She
she
does,
did twirls.
totally.
They just didn't feel it. Film
And
it.
there's lots of people from the cast who are commenting just with hearts and all that jazz. So when she said we, I wasn't sure if that was her family or...
Yeah, I think she moved there with her family for a
Yeah.
while. Yeah.
So it doesn't sound like the studio is closing down. It's...
Yeah.
Anyways.
Aw.
So on to Emmy Watch 2025. What? 24? 24.
Yeah.
So our wonderful, amazing sleuths over at Watt's series found the categories that the Wheel of Time has submitted for nomination purposes. So there's a lot of them. So we've got art direction, casting, cinematography, costumes for episode 205, which was the one before Egwene's ordeal. I can't remember exactly.
Okay. Sean Chen heavy episode.
Yeah. Directing, makeup, and hairstyle for 208. So the last one. Music in 208. Lead actor Daniel Henney. Lead actress Rosamund Pike. Supporting actor all the boys, the 3 boys. Supporting actresses Zoe and Maddie. Guest actress in a drama series. Sophie is a guest actress. Picture editing for 208. Drama series in general. Sound editing for 208. Sound mixing for 208. Stunts and coordination. Performance.
Yes, 100%.
Writing for 206 and 208.
206.
And VFX submissions are pre-screened by a panel to determine nominations.
Interesting.
So Geeky Eerie says, this means the Wheel of Time is on the ballot for these categories. Members of the Television Academy vote on June 24th, and the chosen nominees will be announced July 17th.
That's crazy. That's crazy. They only have
so they've already voted.
They've already voted. Yes.
One day, only one day to vote. Isn't that interesting in this day and age?
Oh, and she goes
one day
and adds cinematography. So I guess they kept finding more nominations as they continued.
So cool.
And big thanks to Eleanor Sedai for putting that list together for Mod Series to host. Good job.
I do agree with Kevin in the chat. Come on, Natasha O'Keefe. She ran away with that show.
Yeah,
give her a little love.
Yeah, that's an interesting. Like, I don't know what her. Like, I guess she would be supporting actress, right? Wouldn't she?
I guess, yeah.
Like
I feel like
that she feels like she was in more of it than.
Yeah.
That. But yeah, the fact that she wasn't nominated is surprising.
It's very surprising.
I wonder if seniority has something to do with whether or not the show gets behind nominating you for something.
Yeah, and I don't know. And I guess it depends. Maybe I guess if she's not in it a lot in the next couple of seasons, if her role steps back, maybe she is more of a guest, even though she was on more. Whereas obviously, Maddie and Zoe are, actual supporting actresses or lead. I would consider them leads, but
I mean, I think they completely forgot my guest actress, Lindsay Duncan. She's like my favorite. He sold that second half of that season for me, so I'm pretty excited about her. She should have been a guest actress nominee for sure.
Oh, it's in the least, absolutely. She should have something, because she was
pretty fantastic,
absolutely amazing.
Yeah, which is why I kind of think I wonder if it's seniority. Like you had to have been in 2 seasons or something,
right? Yeah.
Other than being the lead already, I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
And then from there, our last bit of news for this week is the director for 208, Sana Hamri, has an article in Variety where they do ask questions about the Wheel of Time. And Amis, you were the one that found this, and I didn't read it, so I'm not even.
Yeah, that's okay. It just talks about her experience doing a lot of drama, in different worlds, right? Like preparing for, she did a couple of the Rings of Power episodes and Wheel of Time, and she did some in the first season too. I think 2 episodes in Wheel of Time. And just having that preparation and how different it is, and going to these, amazing locations. And she's saying she's from Morocco, so it was really cool to go there and be in her home country and go see all the different landscapes that she probably thought of filming her whole life, going there. So it's just a really nice article about her in general, but she does call out a little bit of the, like she says, the choreography of the last episode and all those different people and the little fight with Matt and, the Shan Shen soldiers, spoilers, episode 208, by the way. And, just her whole experience doing this kind of filming. It's a nice article. I'll put it in the chat if you guys haven't read it yet. She's just a really intelligent woman, and she, I think, does a really good job with the Wheel of Time. I don't know which one she did for Rings of Power, but
I don't know either. But that's cool. That's cool and interesting that she did Rings of Power and Wheel of Time.
Mm-hmm.
I remember at the time thinking about it because I was excited to see her episodes because I liked her episodes of Wheel of Time, but now I can't remember because everything is out the back of my head.
I mean, I have to admit that I found Rings of Power really frustrating, but I really hope that, a rising tide lifts all boats, and so if it is successful, then the other fantasy shows out there can also equally benefit from its success, the cross promotion success of it.
I mean,
I feel like I was greatly advantaged enjoying Rings of Power by knowing nothing about Lord of the Rings.
Same,
all the Lord of the Rings people seemed really mad, and I was just like, I'm having fun.
Same, I've read the book.
Oh, I haven't.
And I watched the movies, but But
When I was
it wasn't
12, I
about the
threw like the
movies.
first book out a window at like 30 pages in because there were no girls in it. It was me and Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I mean, that's valid.
So I was very
But
judgmental middle schooler.
Yeah.
What? No, I don't believe it at all.
Yeah,
Give me
I
girls
think
with
my
swords or
biggest-
don't show up.
I mean, that's valid.
I'll take them both.
My biggest complaint is that like a lot of the things the characters did contradicted themselves like within the run of the very short series. That was the thing that frustrated me the most. I was like, you just said this and then you're doing this and that's completely different than this. Ah, you know, like that kind of stuff. Was
Fellowship
driving
of
me
the
crazy.
Fantasy series.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I hope good things for it. For it's sophomore season for sure. All right, is that all our news?
That is.
The last thing you should remember from this article about Sana Hamri is that, you know, they asked her about the most important series possible, sequel is The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants 3. That is a possibility because she directed 2. So they asked her if she would direct 3. She said, "Oh, I'd love to work with those ladies again, and that would be really fun." So she has a wide range of skills. So
Okay.
don't forget.
Okay.
I loved Sisterhood of the Traveling. I'm not sure I saw the second one, but hey,
The first one was
Yeah.
great. Yep.
I
know the
haven't
first-
seen either.
It's cute.
it is.
It is
very
really
I think I was really amazed that everyone's butt fit into the same pair of pants.
Magic
was
pants.
definitely a
That's why they're
fantasy.
magic.
Magical
No, it's
pants.
definitely a fantasy.
Great world building.
All right, a little cleanser, and then we go back to talking about sex and politics. Let's go.
Butt rock.
We need our stabby affirmation for today.
Sure.
All right. Be a brave bitch today.
That's
Do it.
me. I'm gonna be a
all-
brave bitch every day.
I love that.
I'll do.
I love that.
What is that, Kathleen?
Speaking of brave
Just
bitches,
like a ham. Yes, go.
do you want some interesting voting rights history factoids?
Yes.
I love it.
Totally.
So, a lot of people think that like there are like some key history and voting rights things, right? Like the when women were given the right to vote, and then the Voting Rights Act. Like those are the key like pillars. But there was a lot of back and forth in between all of that. That wasn't real. Like nothing was really solidified until the Voting Rights Act was signed. Like
Which
that kind of, like-
Alabama helped kill.
Oh, cool.
Really frustrating.
So cool.
That's cool. But we still have a long way to go, too. Like, there's
Yeah.
still people who need voting rights that don't have them. So anybody want to take a guess on in what year the voting age was reduced to 18?
Oh, God, I'm terrible at history.
No, it's a guess. You don't have to know. You just guess.
Wait, what was the question? I got distracted
Like
by the cat.
When were 18-year-olds decided as the legal age that you were allowed to vote?
1968.
I think the
Just made that up.
70s.
Okay.
That's my guess. Late 70s.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably around the time of Vietnam when everybody was complaining about being old enough to go to war but not old enough to vote for the
Exactly
people
what I was
who...
thinking.
Oh my
Very good.
god, seriously, you fuck. Sorry.
You guys were all really close. It was 1971.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty
I was
crazy.
trying to remember because my parents, like I'm thinking about my parents' ages there.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. Pretty nuts. Okay. Here's another interesting factoid, speaking of voting rights. In the very first presidential election, what percentage of the population of the United States actually was eligible to vote?
The first election?
I'm gonna go with 12.
12. Okay.
I'm not really optimistic. I might still be
Because it's
overshooting.
land owning white men.
Landowning white men.
I'd give it 75.
Oh yeah, I'd say it's way lower. I'd probably say, because probably Bree. Like, I'll go under Bree, so 10.
6%.
Oh,
6%.
I was doubled it.
Oh, it's
6%.
I was going actual human numbers.
Oh, like 75 people?
75 people, yeah.
Only 75 people voted for George
That may have
Washington.
actually been correct.
That could have been it. But yeah, we talk about voting rights being something that was enshrined in the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution and all this stuff, and it's just like, but yeah, 6%.
It was
of the people
land-owning white
here.
men.
Land-owning white men.
The original.
We have a long history of only these people should get to vote.
Yeah.
And the
And you
VRA,
had to prove that you were literate also. I think that was part of being land-owning. Like, that's part of the test, but there was a I know
that was only added
in the Civil War.
Yeah, after black.
Yeah, that was
people.
the whole
was a
poll
black-
tax and quizzes
a
thing
poll-
they were doing in the
poll
South to
taxing
keep
thing.
black people from voting.
Okay.
For sure.
know,
Yeah.
It's
that was
absolutely not great shit.
Yeah. So land of the free, home of the brave, 6% of the people could actually decide who could be the president. And yeah. So we've come a long way and still have a long way to go.
Yeah.
For sure. Any other facts, or should we talk about sex?
I mean,
We should talk about what Bree is doing to make that percentage higher.
Yeah, let's go.
And then we talk about sex.
And
I do want to show off some of the auction stuff because we have such cool stuff.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Here, let me look at my little sheet here, see if I can get you guys updated numbers.
I'm going to move Bree up to the top.
Yeah, we have 475 auctions right now and growing, and 79 of what we call our buy it nows. And the buy it nows are things that we release during the auction where if you're fast, you get it. And we do that because the bidding can get really high really fast. I mean, we have things going for $500, $1,000, $5,000 on this auction sometimes.
Wow.
We want everyone to be able to participate. So we will put things that, like, you can get a signed book by an author you love for $25 or $30 if you go and you happen to be there when we unhide it. So we have a lot of those too. And like the magnet, everybody can get well, 300 people can get magnets, but that is my agent at the bottom there, actually, Sarah Younger. Nepotism, I guess. I put her on the featured page first because I think she's fabulous and everybody should want to talk to her if they want to be an author. So
That's awesome. Love it. So what are the things that have historically caused a bidding war?
Okay, so here's a funny story because I was just looking this up. In 2020, I didn't know who Sarah J. Maas was. But the way I found out is because she submitted some stuff, like a first edition Throne of Glass and like something else, like, rare books. And crap went crazy. People were coming in here, like some of them were putting fake bids of like $8,000-$9,000. I think both of these things went for like $5,000 or something. And so that's how I found out who Sarah J. Maas was, because I think one of our biggest ones is the first year Neil Gaiman gave us this like exclusive signed like really rare special edition that they had given him as an author that was like leather bound, and that one went for a lot. If there are any Murderbot fans, we've had a history of having cool. Martha Wells gives us like great stuff. We have just so many things, and like crafts. We have a lot of crafters, and this year I gave them a lot of advance warning. If you guys saw the skull quilt down there in the bottom, that was one of my favorite crafts I saw so far. But there's like knit stuff, custom knit stuff. Oh, I love this. I cannot believe she pieced that together.
That's
so
amazing.
Cool.
Holy cow. Wow.
So, and then like there are just like services. You can talk to editors and agents. You can hire an editor to edit stuff. Cheryl J. Anderson is the showrunner of the Netflix show Sweet Magnolias. And this is her 3rd year. She comes back every year and offers, so you can talk to, a Netflix showrunner if you want to know about Hollywood or various things.
That's so cool.
And we have had we have a couple other Hollywood people in here. I don't know if any of you guys watched the the princess swap. It was the one where they keep having more princesses that are all like identical. But Megan Metzger wrote that, and so she is in here too again. So we have some cool people. If you're interested in Hollywood.
I'm really interested in that package that includes, I don't know, a signed Kit Rocka book, and then like another Kit Rocka book, and then stickers, and then Chibis.
Yes, and you guys might recognize the Chibis.
Yeah.
I have definitely gone to our favorite Chibi designer. And she made these fabulous Ashton, Sashi, and Zanya from the Horny Dragon book and the Horny Dragon book 2, our main characters. I love it. I love them. I think she captured Sashi's little sunshine glow, and Zanya wants to stabby you. Absolutely.
So good. So good.
So we have a little sticker sheet. We've got it. That's a buy it now. So 20 people can, move fast and get some fun stickers. 3D printed dragons is a big thing this year. This one is for a custom one. This is Alyssa, who actually is one of our volunteers too. And she also made us an exclusive Romancing the Vote dragon that has like little hearts on the tail and the head. And it's all in rainbows and it's super cute. And we have 40 of those that will go up at some point for people to buy. But this is for her to print a custom one with a fainting couch, which she designed because she decided that since I kept sending these dragons to romance bookstores, they needed fainting couches because of course.
Can I
These
click on?
dragons are amazing.
Oh, there we go. I can click on the picture.
As a person who works in this world, like these are amazing prints. I love the rainbow one.
So
I want it. I covet the rainbow one so much.
She is so good. And she also just made me, and she's going to put these in her shop later. She did a custom 3 different dragons, one for Ash, one for Zanya, and one for Sashi. Oh. And the Sashi one is like white, but she glows in the dark. And then the Zanya one is like black with like purple and, blue and green shimmers. And Ash just looks like fire. So she's so good and, super talented. If anybody lives in Minneapolis, Tropes and Trifles actually sells her dragons in their shop now. They are a romance bookstore. And if you ever go in there, you can just tell them I told you to come because they are also big fans of the Horny Dragon.
My sister lives there. I'm going to tell her.
Yes, this Tropes and Trifles is actually where the chase began. I sent them a little dragon with an arc of our second book because they had been so supportive, and they named him Todd and gave him his own staff pick shelf. So now there's a Todd the dragon lives in their thing, and he only recommends dragon books. He's quite prejudiced. But he needed a chaise lounge, so she designed it, and so now Todd sits on his fainting couch and tells people to read dragon books in Minneapolis.
Nice.
That's amazing. I love it. I would love to meet Todd. These are like really amazing creations. And there's also a lot of embroidery made with mini stabs. And a lot of like, irreverent.
We have some great embroidery. This is one of my favorites every year. Cal will do custom dice for people, and her dice, you guys, she can do anything. She can embed anything you want. She can put like little snow globes inside them. She is really good, and she swears that democracy dice are very lucky, and so I can't prove her wrong. I think people who have bought them in the past have been pretty happy.
Tempting.
So if you like the game, here's
inside of those.
Are there what?
Well, she put little daggers inside of those dice. I wonder.
Oh, she definitely could.
That would be so fucking cool. Sorry, I just got really loud.
I'm gonna bid on everything.
I know,
I
right?
mean, there's so much there.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
It is very cool. And speaking of gaming, this is one of my favorites. Trick also comes back every year. They are their author photo is obviously one of the coolest things I've ever seen. But along with a great author photo, they also are the head writer on a game some of you might have heard of called Dragon Age.
No, never heard of that. Nope.
So if anybody ever liked Iron Bull, Trick is responsible for that kinky warrior dude who runs around saying stuff.
Amazing.
They have also written some great books, and they will tell you about writing books or writing games or, anything you want. And yes, I just love the picture.
It's so good.
So probably won't give you Dragon Age 4 spoilers, but other than that,
Really
I'm
cool.
very excited about Dragon Age 4 too, because I love all dragon things.
Right?
I love that the dragon theme has percolated throughout
has.
the entirety of Romance
Seriously.
and Vogue. That's so cool.
And since Baldur's Gate 3 has been pretty popular, we also have a writer from Baldur's Gate 3. I believe they wrote like most of the dialogue the main character says, like, when they say things. So,
Yeah.
For gamers, such a cool chance to talk to someone. And I will say, Trick, actually, like, I wrote some narrative games for Pixelberry's Choices app. So, like, I got to write some fun, choose your own adventure romance stories. And Trick was very helpful with me because writing branching narrative stories is a whole unique thing, and it's very cool. But you kind of got to learn how to think differently.
Yeah.
And so super, super fun.
So is this one like a Zoom or?
Yeah, these are Zooms. They'll do Zooms with you, talk for like an hour.
So would people be allowed to go in as a cohort and bid on these? Is there a limit on, or like if I decided I wanted to be a baller and like gift all of my Baldur's Gate 3 friends, even though I've never played it with this, and it was just like, here's $1 million and I want 50 of my friends to be on this Zoom.
Totally could.
Okay.
That's awesome.
I don't have $1 million to give. If I did, I would for you guys. But
I was gonna get real excited and also a little bit frustrated with you, Leigh. I was like, I'm pretty sure that $1 million could buy us a commune, and the fact that you have it.
Baldur's Gate 3 Zoom commune.
Hard
Amazing.
to choose.
That was hard to choose. Yeah.
That is hard to choose.
Yeah. I did not woo a dragon in Baldur's Gate 3, but I definitely wooed a bear and also a winged nymph devil thing. So kind of like sexing up a dragon.
I mean, I do have all the horniest games on here.
Surprised that the winged dragon nymph devil thing sex happened. Like I was expecting to get killed, and then it turned into sex, and I was like, holy cow. I was not expecting that at all.
It's a horny game, Baldur's Gate 3. That's why everybody kept telling me to play it, of course.
It's so
And
horny.
Dragon
It's
Age
so
is
fun.
always horny games. So I appreciate that the horny game creators have shown up for Romancing the Vote. So
That's
it.
really cool.
Love
I'm
it.
glad they appreciate it.
And dragon related. Baldur's Gate also has dragons.
And then this is just, I got, you guys know Aradia from What Spoilers, and she has graciously decided to donate some podcasting production. And let me tell you guys, if you just want to do something and you want either to talk to her about how to do podcasting, I benefit from this because she produces our podcast, the Hot New Ones Book Club, and she's so good.
Which is good.
So, and I mean, we're a difficult podcast because there's so much ADHD. Leigh-A can tell you, but half the time we're just all talking at the same time, and somehow it comes out the other end as a coherent conversation.
And I'm not gonna lie, the only reason I knew ahead of time to just say what I was gonna say and Aradia would fix it is because I've had these conversations with Aradia ahead of time where she's like, I would just prefer you guys to go and talk and not like stumble and talk over each other, because she'll just basically, like, if you're doing this with multiple lines, she'll just like smooth it all out.
Yeah.
So that it's all one cohesive conversation. And so she plugs the parts of people's conversation in.
Can she do that with my real life conversations?
Right.
I
That
mean,
would be
honestly,
I would like
making me sound
twofold.
so much smarter than I am every week or every other week. Yes, they do several podcasts now. They're starting a whole little like podcasting business, and it's super cool.
Wow.
Absolutely do recommend.
I didn't know that they did so many. That's
Yeah.
so cool.
It's been growing, and it's awesome to watch and awesome to benefit from, because I am not the sort of person who has patience to do that.
Yeah. Wow. That's quite the gift.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Aradia is really trying to make a business out of it. Like, do this professionally long term.
That's so cool. Love that.
So, and I think that's all the links you sent me. So, you did want to talk about I didn't include there was an extra one you sent me that I don't think I.
Oh, I was going to say, yes, since we're talking about horny things, and I know a lot of the fandom has been enjoying Bridgerton, we do have some fun Bridgerton stuff from the author of the books.
What?
She gives us
Can you
stuff
send
every
me the
year.
link, and can you?
If you just want to search Bridgerton up in the search thing, it'll come up.
I could
The
totally
search thing
do that.
is super easy to use.
I'll do it live.
Demo it.
Did that work?
Ooh.
And she did tell me she's sending something else in. I'm not sure what it is, but these first two are they did special edition hardcovers, and apparently they made one copy of each of these where they sent them to her. It's just like blank pages inside, like a journal, but the outside is the design they were getting approval on. And so they're like these super nice, intricate hardcovers with blank pages inside, so you could use it for something you wanted to write horny notes in there or anything.
Yeah, horny notebook.
Or you could use it to disguise your gossip chronology.
Yes, write down what everybody else is doing.
Put the hot goss inside the book, and people will just think it's another romance novel you're just reading when you're
This
taking
one is really
notes.
cool. This is like an Italian version of the books, and apparently Italy gets the best merch because they got Regency tarot cards.
That is
Which-
so cool.
Like, how are we not like getting Regency tarot cards in America? I don't know, Italy. So that
Good
seems
job,
pretty
Italy.
cool. And then I guess there might be something else. I have no idea. I haven't looked in the formlet to see if she showed up again. Not sure what that is. They might have mentioned something about Bridgerton.
Came
or
up
just-
when I typed Bridgerton.
Yeah,
Oh,
there might be
that's amazing.
Bridgerton in the description or something, because
Maybe.
sometimes that happens. Yeah, and I'm also putting, if you want to put Kate Roche up there, I have lots of cool things and jewelry. I love to make jewelry. It's one of my weird habits, which is really funny because I can't wear jewelry.
Oh no.
But some of this stuff is just inspired. I didn't actually do it, but
I'm sorry. What? The fingerless gloves? What?
I did not
on that
make
picture.
those. But yeah, somebody.
What is happening?
I
They
love it.
mentioned it, and they mentioned me in the bio or something, and they are so cool.
Wow.
So cool.
Okay, what did you make?
I made those necklaces. These are something that I've been making, and I'm stressed out this year. So I have a bunch of these as buy it nows.
Those are beautiful.
I like to think they look like stained glass that, like, maybe broken
Yeah.
stained glass. So I love making them.
And
And there's quite a few. There's like 46 total of the 3 different colors. And then if you do like Horny Dragon books, there's 2 boxes that have both books in it, and the purple book's not out until August. So, and then also candles that we made, inspired by each character, and also like all sorts of swag and a little 3D printed dragon. This was the first one. This is the original Todd. She made me 50 of them and just sent me a box of 50 of these adorable little guys.
Holy cow!
So yeah, the cutest little guy ever. And then stickers and other stuff.
Oh my
So
goodness.
yeah.
Okay,
You
so that one's mine. I want that one.
I am also going to tell you guys, I don't know if Kevin's still in the chat, but Kevin and our Ruth mistress are technically in Queen of Dreams.
Yes.
What?
Because, well, I was trying to finish the map. I got on Twitter a time and I was procrastinating. And I basically stole Kat, Esther, Evan, and yeah, there's the map. So Leigh-A is up there.
I'm up here.
Zinke is K-E-V-I-N. And then Caster is Kat and Esther shoved together. So yeah, I stole all you guys, and I've told them multiple times they are not allowed to go to war because the map is going to get messy if they do.
Well, and then I said I'll fight you, pillow fights, and then Kat.
I can't trust them. They're absolutely going to go to war, but you know.
That's amazing.
It was really fun.
I
am pretty sure
I'm in
that
Consort of Fire.
You are in Consort of Fire.
Except
yes,
you know, spelled slightly different.
Let's take a moment to think about the fact that you gave my character swords.
I know. I
she's now.
I was just looking through this list of people who said they wanted their names. I was like, ooh, I'll just make this Melindhra. And then I gave her a sword. And then later I was like, whoops. Shame.
Look who's here.
Also in
live streaming from the airport bathroom.
No, just the airport in general.
It really did look like a bathroom stall.
No, there's a welcome.
Oh, welcome.
I promise I am not in a bathroom.
The meets in this one because I've got everybody else has shown up because Rob is in Consort of Fire too.
Wait, I'm in Consort of Fire?
Oh yeah, I named the poor prince who kept trying to kill the dragon several thousand years ago. Robard. He's only you.
I will be in any of your Horny Dragon books, Bree.
Oh man.
Apparently I'm just running the threefold roster here. So
yeah.
So what I'm hearing is we need to get a copy of Consort of Fire and we all need to sign it and then we can auction it off for next year.
Actually,
we're so famous.
Or when they get renewed for their next book, somehow we can all have an orgy together.
That escalated
That's totally
rapidly.
the next step, right? That's the next step from book signing, orgy.
That's logical to me. Yeah.
No,
We have
the characters in the books.
I'm a country, so you would have to do it in the country.
What about
what? You're long dead general, and Robard is unfortunately also a 3,000 years. But you know what? It's magic. I haven't said whether or not people can be reborn or not, so you know.
Ooh.
Yeah, speaking of,
Guess you'll have to Raffo.
Yeah.
Yeah, you will. I'm very excited to see where you take the world and all the characters. Like I feel like we just literally. I was going to say something, but I won't. But we just like
rimmed the surface. Is that what you were going
to
to say?
tip, right to the tip of the
Just the tip.
Just circle.
We really just
the caldera
like,
of the volcano.
To these guys, and I love them. I love all of them. I want to know how, like if you had some inspiration on the creation. I think that's my favorite part. We don't have to go full spoilers, right? But the creation of the gods to me is probably like how they are created is very interesting to me. And I was curious how
this is so appropriate for this entire live stream. Part of my inspiration was honestly the original Romancing the Vote, because it was such a bananas time where we just like, and I had literally, what I did was I texted Courtney Milan and I was like, I'm thinking about doing an auction for the runoff. You know, I think we can raise like $10,000. She's like, I bet we can raise 20,000. And so like we had these like tiny little goals, but then we just tapped into something that felt so much bigger than us. And just a lot of people came together and they just hoped that they could do something practical. Everybody just wanted to feel like they could, you know, hope and take action. And it just ran away from us. This like absolute, so much bigger than any of the sum of it, like the parts of it. And so that was something that I thought about a lot, the power of a bunch of people believing in something and how much that can like manifest in actual real world things.
Yes.
So that was part of what I was thinking about when we were doing it.
It's brilliant. Love
That's
it.
awesome.
Love it so much.
That's awesome.
Also, I'm going to give you guys one reading inspiration. Anne Bishop wrote this. She's written many series, but one of the ones, probably her least popular, least read, are the ephemera books, where there are people who can the land responds to what you dream in your heart, and it knows things about you. So like sometimes if you go across a bridge, it will take you where you need to be, not where you were trying to go. And so it's not what we did. Obviously, I'm not going to go copy her stuff, but I was fascinated by the idea of a world that is not sentient, but also sort of
We
has
had those flowers that
perspective.
changed when they were dancing according to their emotions. I won't get into details on, because again, trying to limit the spoilers if people haven't read it. The books.
I mean, the world loves the dragon. I mean, the world sort of has a little crush on him. He is the world's favorite. So it's not.
They love him, but they're terrified of him.
No, I mean the actual
Like the
world,
land.
like the literal world.
Our world, yes. Our world, yes. Oh my gosh.
No. That land, like the world of this thing.
In the books. Yeah.
Yeah, in the books.
Okay.
So like the earth responds to him, the world itself changes itself.
Not
to
the people
him.
necessarily.
No, not the
but
people.
The physical planet.
Yeah, the planet. Which, by the way, speaking of romancing the vote, I had an biochemist with a astrophysics degree build the planet for us and the moons.
Wow.
She has a consultation up for auction in Romancing the Vote. She has done this in the past. And I literally said, I want a calendar where I have one moon that has a cycle every 10 days, so it could be the weeks, and then another moon that does it every 50 days, so that could be the months. And she was like, went away, and she came back, and she was like, here you go. Here's a graphic of them. Here's what they do. Here's their orbit. Here's a formula to put it into Excel so you can figure out like what the moon will be doing any day of the year.
Oh my
Dr.
God, she
Stephanie
used
Douglas?
spreadsheets, guys.
No, it's Robin Bond.
That's amazing.
There are two world building things. I think Stephanie might be a linguist.
An hour with an astronomer. That's just I'm just scrolling through. I'm multitasking at this point because I'm fascinated.
Robin Bond is who it was. Who was actually Courtney's sister. It's like all in the family. And so that was how I came to hire her, and she was so smart. So it was fun. Because sometimes you have to literally build a world, and I knew we were going to have a lot of fantastical things, so I wanted something very grounding, and that was the moons and the actual Earth, and having like an exact what's full and what's not full, and the different days.
So in the books, like the chapters are kind of referencing the dates, and they're going just for people who haven't read it, they're literally talking about the different kinds of moons and the different names of the moons and all of that stuff. Which helps you move along in the chronology of what's happening.
And then there's also lore that goes, like some mythology that goes with them. Or I guess it's technically not mythology, but
I mean, we don't know, but kind of.
There's a story.
And the story I'm just going to tell you guys is that, the moons banged and created the world because it's a horny book.
Yeah,
obviously.
So,
oh man,
the only way it can be.
The only way.
Well, and for just a early plug for What a Holiday, last year, Bree, you.
Oh no.
I'm totally gonna do this too.
No, it's okay. I knew.
That's why I still have this tab in there.
Yeah.
One of the things that the hour that you were on, if anybody bought above a certain amount or donated above a certain amount, you said you would send them a book with an illustration. So
I can't draw, guys. I can't draw, but I tried to draw sexy scenes.
I love it.
Listen, I'm a writer. I'm not an
Wow.
artist.
It's beautiful.
And I also put castles
the
shaking.
rays out of the yeah. It's
The
good.
bathtub was great.
Sense
Good
of
scenes.
movement. There was emotion. It told a whole story. Don't
Yeah.
sell yourself short.
I love this. Yeah.
I'm curious for those of you who have read the books or written the book. Do you have a favorite horny scene? And can you describe
Reenact
that
it?
horny scene in 3 words? Kayla, go.
Wolf, orgasms, everyone.
She gives in.
Oh,
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say voyeurs embrace the dream.
Oh God, Donna's still here. Donna, is that about my drawing? I'm a great artist. It's really glad that, I mean, you got one of the tamer ones. I started trying to illustrate the later sex scenes as I went.
Oh,
and
man.
that got really weird.
Don't worry, that's a stick figure. It's fine.
Yeah, it was not great.
Good.
So, Mel, what
I'm
was
gonna
your
give
3
mine
words?
in
I
one
said
word.
voyeurs embrace the dream.
That's
4
4.
words.
Dreams.
We can make the dream one. It's a title.
Yes.
It's
Fine.
like apostrophe T, the dream.
The dream.
The dream.
This is fantasy. It's not apostrophe. It's fine.
Yeah.
There were a lot of horny scenes, but my favorite one is just Earthquake.
That one is all right. So I hope that was a good teaser for all of you who haven't had a chance to dive into it.
Rob,
I was
you can
teased
give
enough
yours.
when I was like, I'm in this book and I haven't read it. So I am a bad person for that. I have so much toe for that. But there's so much toe I can't even put it on screen effectively. So I will have to go.
That's why
try
you're
and
the
read this book
token Wetlander. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
We'll figure out how you can meet your toe later. Well, okay. Well, okay. I'm just gonna stop. I'm gonna
Dangerous
stop right
topic.
there.
Do
I'm
it.
gonna stop right there.
now. Okay.
Well, but I will say one of the things about this book, especially I think compared to the first book of the Beyond series, was it did like you built up a lot more of the relationship first.
Yeah.
And so like, and there was like, and I kept being like, is this it? Is this it? God damn it. No, it's not it yet.
And then it was just like, brrr. Oh,
Yeah.
quite some time.
But and then I actually think that's one thing that I do appreciate, and in knowing that the intention was it wasn't just going to be one book, so it's not just like a one-off romance book where for anybody who hasn't listened to Hot Nuance Book Club, Bree does talk a lot about writing romances, and it's fascinating, and like some of the process, but then also some of the expectations of romance books. Romance books aren't necessarily my go-to because sometimes I feel like they lack a lot of the plot and the things that I'm interested in. I am very interested in the sex scenes, but like I also want a little bit more than lots of blah 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 blah.
You need just to
poorly
get the
written
right
sex
ones.
Yes. So
Because I like romances where people get murdered. And there are a lot of them out there. I could just read nothing but murder romances for the rest of my life and never get to most of them. So that's always my thing. Romance, I think most of us hate 97% of the genre, and we're never going to finish reading the 3% we love.
Yeah.
Because it's just so vast.
That's awesome.
So,
and I was actually talking with my sister about this yesterday. I haven't read Fourth Wall, but apparently it got recommended to her as smut.
Fourth Wing?
Yeah, Fourth Wing, yes.
Oh no. I mean, it's sexy, but this is the thing. People outside of romance are like, "Oh, hey, read this smut," and people inside romance are like, "Honey."
Yeah,
that was
well,
like
and
a 2 out of 20.
true.
That's kind of how the impression that I'd gotten of it when I heard about it, and was like, okay, so I'm actually going to bring this to her bachelorette party in September. Be like, good luck.
I mean, I read Fourth Wing and I had fun. But I would not call it sexy. Just like the first ACOTAR book, I just got mad at everybody who told me it was porn. I was like, you guys, you owe me money. You have legitimately enraged me.
It's like when you get in on Twitter of Time and you ask, like, okay, but like, how much sex actually was there in the Wheel of Time? And people are like vehemently defending the fact that there's sex, and you're just like,
it's all off screen. Like, obviously, Perrin and Fael get it on after they get married, and so do, and like, and Nynaeve even talks about like raking across Land's back. So like, you know that they're having some sort of interesting, like,
yeah, but
I want Bree,
right?
I want Bree to write that.
Like, does that count as actual?
No, it doesn't.
Sex
It says that like sex happens off screen.
We
like,
call that fade to black.
It exists in the world. Like, children will be born. Or sometimes
you get sum up. I would say the Igloo is a sum up. They whenever you go many hours later, like, you know, first of all, way to go, man. Second of all, that was just like a transition. That was just a, you know, we're just gonna fast forward, and that's not sex.
And we want to thank Harriet for that. Thank you, Harriet.
Yes. Yeah. Don't.
I mean, according to Origins, his idea of this was duck. So, I mean, I don't know if you guys have all read Origins, but
yeah,
duck. So yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say that the Wheel of Time books are not the horniest puritanical books I have ever read in my life. They are both puritanical and horny. Every day, every page, it is a wild thing to pull off. But they're not
a lot of
sex.
sexual.
To spend a minute.
Communication and a lot more orgasms probably would have relieved a lot of the stress that was happening for everybody.
That's valid.
I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't bang if it's the apocalypse, which is the basis of our other series. The bisexual love army.
I think
so.
Which is also very good. But again, like, getting back to what I was saying, in that you get to the sex much more quickly, and there still is a lot of world building that happens. So there are, I feel like, less sex scenes in this book, but they're bigger, and there's a lot more relationship that leads up into them.
It's a much slower burn. And the Beyond books are erotic romance, and they're like, you know, that's like a specific genre where you actually tell the story somewhat through sex. Oh no,
Patrick! Oh my gosh!
Oh, Patrick! You may be entitled to compensation.
I think you should sue the Snatch group about that one.
But it's, the sex is built into the Beyond series as part of the culture.
And we built that world so that the sex would be something that could happen immediately without it seeming weird.
And it was actually very natural. So I'll let you give up, or do you want me to do like a 30-second?
Go for it if you want.
Okay, see if hopefully I don't fuck it up. So it starts out in this post-apocalyptic world, and the initial main character, she is from this high part of society that is extremely puritanical. Like breeding and all that stuff is like extremely controlled. Sex is completely off the table. You do not do it. You can get kicked out of your family. And she basically runs away into this underground world that is outside of this.
The walled city.
The walled city. Yeah, I was trying to figure out a word. The walled city. Yes, where you know the the right proper people live.
Yeah.
And immediately gets in with people who could have been way worse. Like her life could have gone way worse, but she gets in with people who actually appreciate her, but also have a much more open lifestyle. So there's no breeding laws, there's no restrictions on that type of stuff. And it's a lot about her learning about all of this stuff through caring, loving hands.
Yeah.
So it's like the tattoo scene. I was just like, oh my God, that was so fucking
That was
good.
pretty infamous.
Yeah.
So.
I was in a grocery store as I was listening to that, and my face kept getting, and I was, so of course it's in my head, like in my earphones, but I just kept getting brighter and brighter red.
People who listen to the Beyond books in public are the hardest core people in the world. You guys are badass and brave.
No, there's no way. There's no way.
Well, and I was even about Consort of Fire. I was talking with my sister yesterday about it, and I was listening to it, and I listen as I just do things around my apartment. So I was doing dishes as when that wolf scene happened, and I literally had to stop and just go sit down. Because I was like, these things do not mix. Like, I literally cannot mix washing dishes in this experience, and like, it's just like,
Listen, the guy who narrates the dragon in that audiobook too, like, I think anything he said would sound dirty. just like anything, like he so
I mean, there's like a small group of people that can read erotica well as voice actors. Like, is the pool of actors fairly limited?
I mean, and this is like the funniest thing. I can't listen to audiobooks, like sexy audiobooks, because I'm just like, I don't know you like that person. Stop saying those words in my kitchen. I can read it like on my phone or whatever. Like, I don't want to hear it. Which is funny because I write just wild shit, but I just like don't want to hear it.
Yeah,
that's funny.
But and it's interesting because people have very different things that they like about. I did a thing when we were getting ready to, because we get to like suggest narrators or like things that we want to the publisher. And so I asked on my Facebook, like, what people liked about, narration on sexy books. And I just got this wild answer. Like, I only like it when men read it. I only like it when men do not read it. I only like this. I only like that, And so it's just, I think it's very personal. But I do think that the ability to read sex scenes without making them sound weird is probably an extremely niche skill.
Totally.
Yeah. That's a very good point.
Yeah, because you can't react to the scene. So you just have to read it in a manner that is going to elicit a response. And yeah, that is.
And not sound like a 70s parody porn.
Yes. Yes. That is not the response you're trying to elicit.
No, exactly. So.
No.
Definitely not in my skill set. People are always like, do you want to do a reading? And I'm like, I'm good. No, thank you.
Amazing. Well, when one of us wins the prologue, I think you're gonna have to not watch Threefold Talk that day, because there will be, as we are wont to do, a live reenactment.
How about when the next book comes out, I send it to you guys and you can be the exclusive prologue people.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
I will send it to you guys. Because I feel like nobody's going to appreciate it like Wheel of Time people anyway, because,
That's true.
So I will do that. You guys remind me in August. I will send you the original prologue.
Yay!
Yeah, what is the next book? August
6th.
Oh, so soon.
So it is coming soon.
I mean, I've already got it pre-ordered.
Something will come in August.
It'll be.
That's for sure.
Yes.
Hey.
There we go.
Yes.
That was good. That was well done.
That
Yes,
was
I
very
appreciate that. So, what year do you guys think that
Oh God, we're getting back to
We're
it.
doing more.
That's like a terrible segue.
Okay, well, we
It's like,
we asked
which one of these is the most depressing?
awful. No, I can't be depressed anymore about our.
Well, so remind us one more time what the name of the auction and what it's going to support.
Okay, so it's Romancing the Vote, and we have romancingthevote.com if you ever want to like find stuff. And if you go to auction.romancingthevote.com, you will find the auction. And all of the money is going to Fair Fight and Vote Riders to help people get out and vote, navigate ID laws, basically find a way to, get to the polls and have their voices heard. And there are lots of things, even if you're not super excited. I know a lot of people, probably everybody here, because you're not watching the debate or whatever it was, not super excited about what's going on. But there are so many things happening in different states. There are places where we can codify our rights by having getting them made into state law. That's on a bunch of things. You can elect local people. You can elect your school board members because they are being wild over here.
So can I give 2 real quick statistics I heard on one of my political podcasts this morning? It was they had a guest on from a group called Run for Something, which focuses on lower level elections, Bree, like you're talking about. And they said, she said, having contested local elections can increase turnout by 2 to 3 percentage points, which may be the margin of victory for the higher level tickets. And especially in a year like this, where people are not enthused by the higher level tickets, having those lower level folks just having some, it's not guaranteed. So in the states that the places that we're looking at, we're talking about are those ones where, XYZ party might be in just a assumed shoo-in. So if you have somebody at least running against them, that turns out the vote. And then
it's also less demoralizing as someone who has had to get a bunch of ballots where I have people running unopposed down the line,
Exactly.
It's depressing.
Well, and you're just not going to not talk about the top of the ballot. And the last fact is having a young progressive local politician possibly increases interest in voting in the young voters, which is our hardest demographic right now to get out and enthused to get vote, by 61%.
Yep.
Wow.
Term limits. Sorry, did I say that?
Yeah. So having those people, so in addition to having contested elections, getting those people that make you want to go vote, and years like this where you just don't care about the top of the ballot, you really do want to go focus on that bottom of the ballot. So initiatives like this help not only the voting rights, which is another reason people my vote doesn't count, it's not going to, nobody's going to care because it's difficult, but also all of those other things. So it is important.
Local stuff is so important. And I mean, I feel like, and I'm just going to say it, as someone who is in Alabama, which means, me and the people I love are just losing rights one by one. I am married to a teacher who has to work in a school with a don't say gay law. And I have a trans nephew who, thank God, he is 19 because everybody under 19 can't get their medication anymore. And abortion. And the fact that when you cross state lines, you lose and gain rights is very weird.
Yeah.
And so, the fact that our local politicians pretty much decide that means we need to pay more attention to them.
Yeah.
Yes.
One of the strongest things I can say about voting, regardless of who the candidate is that having the right to vote means that you can advocate for those who can't. So whether it's, the incarcerated, whether it's immigrants, whether it's youth, people under 18, whether it's the environment, the homeless, and, all of our territories, there are a lot of people who don't have the right to vote. And so you using your vote to vote, you using your voice to vote on their behalf is a signal that you care about people who don't have a voice. So use it, because some people can't.
And when they disappoint us, just yell at them, because we get to do that too.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. I mean, I think about the fact that
yes,
there are
local
all of these
politics.
protests that are happening, and part of the reason there's so much frustration is because, there's a highly informed groups of teenagers out there, highly informed, and they don't have a say. They don't have a say in what happens, and so many of the laws that are written affect them very strongly.
I mean, it's possible that raising a generation with defensive warfare tactics in their school, and then telling them that we're going to destroy their planet before they're old enough to deal with it, and then telling them not to do things about it, was not our best strategic move.
Yeah.
These kids have been doing school shooting drills since they were 5. They are not scared of you, and they're mad.
Yeah.
So
And they don't have a voice, so vote for them.
So a way that you can, there's many ways that you can get out and help. We do have an episode that Wise One Shelley did talk about different ways that you can go help. We'll try to repost that, especially since we are getting close to election time here in the US. I do know that the British primaries have happened or going on.
So vote here for the next, because the next general election is actually the 4th of July. Very ironic.
Yeah,
Okay.
I thought that was a great choice.
I'll be spending
votes,
our day of changing government in the country that kicked our government out. So very fun. But I did today. It was the last day I was going to be at home, and I was like, it needs to turn up today because I'm not going to be in the UK. I need to register for postal voting. And I was like, I registered, I got approved. I was like, okay, send me my ballot. It just wasn't showing up. And then today, I was home when I shouldn't have been because the schedule was just crazy. I had to be home, and it turned up, and so I got my postal vote in today. So I have voted.
Nice.
Woo!
Yeah.
I was worried I just wasn't going to be able to vote and be like, this sucks, but it happened, so it's okay.
So we will go repost that amazing episode we had with Wise One Shelley. If you can contribute financially, this auction is a good way to help out. There are many other ways. We won't get into that now because we don't have time, but so not everybody can contribute financially. Check out that episode when we do repost it. We'll put it in Discord and on Twitter. But it sounds like there is something else that
Bree, do you have anything else to say about the auction coming up? The dates are what?
The auction opens 9 a.m. Eastern on Monday, and it will run through Friday. And it is fun. It is exciting. We're going to see how fast we can break $25,000. I think we did 9 minutes last time.
Wow.
So, it is super fun.
Love
and
that.
I don't know. We have a little bit of a record of
But are you taking shots, Bree, every time
hitting
someone reaches
funding goal?
25,000?
Oh gosh, I would probably die. So let's not alcohol poison me. I also, the 3rd book in this series is due on the 1st as well. So that was bad planning.
Whoa.
Thing on my. We're just gonna just finish the end of this book this weekend. No big deal.
Can we
but
butt
yeah,
rock
it's gonna
and
be super fun.
butt rock and ramen rattle
Yeah,
for Bree for being a champ for
Yes.
Butt rock.
for joining us tonight amidst all these due dates and deadlines.
Chaos.
Yeah.
Much
Thank you so
appreciated,
much
much
for making time to share with our community.
It was fun.
Yeah. All right. So one last thing before we go, folks. You may have noticed that Anise has been joining us a lot recently. That's because we invited Anise to join us permanently, and so she's been hanging out to make sure she enjoys it, because obviously it's a big commitment. And Anise says she loves it. So we thought, because we love her, we thought that we should make it official and welcome Anise to Threefold Talk as an official show host.
Yay!
Thank you all.
And
It's been so
what-
much fun. I get to see all my favorite people every week. It's so amazing.
It's great. I love it. And what better way to do that, Amis, than to reveal something you just received? What did you just get, Amis?
I don't know. What could it be?
I don't know.
What is it?
Maybe it's Chibi.
It's so
Isn't she cute?
She's gorgeous.
Absolutely
I love
amazing.
it.
She just does not
Memo.
miss, does she?
No.
She's
Memo's
so
incredible.
perfect. I love the earrings. Yeah.
No, they're like headphones.
They're
my
headphones,
Yeah, a
right?
little headset.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
Yeah,
a
you can
headphones in that
sew-
You're
earring.
not far stride
Cool.
without music. It's proven.
Yeah. And it's like you've got like maps and you've got like a half
Wine,
moon necklace
Maps,
or whatever.
wine,
Fire
necklace,
Strider Traveler right there.
and boots.
Uskoai in I love it. Oh man.
That
Yeah.
is so
That's
beautiful.
She did a great job.
It's so good.
Doing
It's
the
so
sassy walking.
Yeah.
So
I
good.
guess so.
It's so good. Well, we couldn't be more happy to make it official. Amis, you've been an amazing addition to the Threefold Talk family, and we're so glad you decided to stick
I'm
around.
so happy to be here.
Yeah.
I love you guys.
We love you.
Too.
Aw.
Yay.
And that's why I was so sad I couldn't be on the stream. I'm like,
that's
why am I stuck on a bus
No
right now? I need
surprise.
to be on the stream.
You
That is, folks,
though.
that is why I'm streaming from inside the airport.
Yeah.
And people are staring at me like, what is he doing? I'm like, I'm talking to my friends in America is what I'm doing.
That's right.
Yeah.
A very
Shut
normal
up.
thing to be doing.
You need to
Absolutely.
say, I'm talking to America.
That's right.
Like that.
America.
America.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. This has been great. What a great day. I'm so
been
happy.
awesome.
That's it.
So happy.
All right. So we just have to wrap up then, won't we?
I
Yeah.
guess so.
We'll see you next
Uh,
Friday.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah.
See you next Friday for the after party. I'm going to see some of these beautiful faces tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, in like 12 hours.
Yeah. I can't wait.
It's a secret IEL token Wetlander thing going on.
Yeah. So,
Just a thing. Secret. It's a secret.
but until next time, folks, please may you always find love, water, and shade. Bye.
Bye.